Two key senators are pressing U.S. President Donald Trump to share Lockheed Martin's F-35 or F-16B fighter jet to upgrade Taiwan's aging air power and deter China. Sens Cornyn and Jim Inhofe sent the letter to Trump on Monday, days after Taiwan defense officials confirmed their long-standing interest in the F-35. Cornyn, of Texas, is the Senate's no-to Republican, and Inhofe, of Oklahoma, is the Senate Armed Services Committee's no-to Republican. The F-16V- billed as the most advanced fourth-generation fighter- would be a cost-effective alternative to the fifth-generation F-35, the letter argues. The lawmakers also said it would address the quantitative and qualitative challenges of Taiwan's air defense fleet. Of 144 F-16s Taiwan bought from the U.S. in 1993, 15 are in the U.S. for training purposes and 24 more will be offline for upgrades on a rolling basis through 2023. That means Taiwan is likely able to field only 65 F-16s at any given time in defense of the island, not enough to maintain a credible defense. The letter reads, if Taiwan's air defense fleet is allowed to degenerate in number and quality, I am concerned that it would be destabilizing and would encourage Chinese aggression to ensue. The letter reads, additionally, I am concerned that Taiwan's military weakness and the inability to mount a credible air force would place an undue burden on forward-deployed U.S. forces in Northeast Asia.
This test event is a series of events we're executing out here is critical to opening up the envelope again to meet those realistic needs of the U.S. Marine Corps.
Shipborne capabilities are important for the F-35B because they're important for the Marine Corps. Having F-35B, having a stealth platform that's organic to that unit will allow us to support the Marines.
I'm honored. I've never thought that I'd ever be a part of anything like this. Every day I wake up, I see something like this and how it performs. It's amazing to see what this thing can do.
Certainly one of the more important things we're doing out here is operating the F-35B aboard an L-class ship at night. You know, our striking power as a national force typically comes at night, so the ability to operate this aircraft from these kind of ships in a nighttime environment is critical for Marine Corps IOC.
The F-35 is going to allow future pilots to worry less about stick and rudder skills and more about executing the mission.
The Aviate-B is a workload intensive, very procedurally intensive aircraft to fly, especially aboard a ship. This is a much more forgiving aircraft to mistakes that the pilot might make.
The fact that the Harrier was not fly-by-wire at all. There was nothing in between me and the flight controls. So I could do things in the Harrier that would very specifically get me killed if I did them incorrectly. Whereas in this airplane, there's a level of protection between me and those flight control surfaces. So in a mission, up and away from the ship, that's going to allow me to spend more time thinking about the tactical picture, thinking about how I'm going to support the Marines on the ground.
It's been performing fantastic. It's been remarkable. Compared to Legacy Stovall, it's absolutely steady and rock solid. I think the Marine Corps is really going to be happy with the aircraft. Operating in a shipboard environment is very, very dangerous, and the workload for the pilots is very high. For the F-35, speaking with the pilots and being in a tower, that workload has been significantly reduced, and therefore the risks associated with operating aboard a ship has also been reduced.
But in terms of handling qualities in relation to legacy aircraft, it's by far a lower workload on the pilot to come into the hover, to cross over, to line up on the spot. It's a very low workload because the computer is taking care of all the many control inputs that need to be required to have a stable hover.
DT2 has been kind of a watershed event for the F-35B program and its compatibility with LHD ships. We've pushed out the wind envelope beyond what the legacy platform, the Harrier, was able to achieve.
Fifth generation aircraft, such as the F-35, will open up threat areas where previous legacy fighters that operate off L-class ships weren't even invited to play. So an F-35B operating from this type of ship really gives a joint warfighting commander different options to effect change in the world wherever it is necessary.
Those upgrades include fitting the F-16 with the active electronically scanned Northrop Grumman and /APGate 3 scalable Agile Beam radar, a new mission computer, and an electronic warfare suite. Taiwan is reportedly interested in the F-35B short takeoff and vertical landing version, through which Taiwan would aim to maintain air power if China attacked its runways in a first strike. The survivability of the F-35B and modern long-range sensors could help Taiwan intercept Chinese missiles, promoting deterrence well into the next decade. The letter reads, "The F-35B would not only provide a modern fifth-generation fighter, but would also bolster their capabilities in next-generation warfare." Earlier this month, Chinese President Xi Jinping issued a warning to Taiwan, which China views as a breakaway province. However, Washington provides arms to Taipei under the 1979 Taiwan Relations Act, and Trump days ago signed a bill to make it easier for the US and Taiwan to exchange official visits. In June, China demanded Washington reverse its decision to sell Taiwan $1.42 billion worth of arms, saying it contradicted a consensus that Xi reached with Trump during talks in Florida last year. Inhofe in February completed a congressional trip to the Asia-Pacific region, which included a visit to Taiwan.